everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a foundation review. We are actually going to be reviewing the Cushion Foundation from Wet n Wild. So I have heard a lot of things about this, but of course, because my skin has changed so much over the course of this last year, I'm still looking for new and better foundations that will suit my skin tone. I actually just hopped out of the shower and put a little bit of cream on to prep before we get started. And what I've been using is the Hello Hydration face cream. It looks like this. And what I did is just liberally, is that a word? I generously put it all over my face and my neck and just let it kind of soak in. So I wanted to do a foundation review for you because I haven't done one of these in a very long time. So what I think I might do now that my cream has now not gotten so tacky and has kind of synced into my skin, I think what I'm going to do is prime my whole face. I'm going to apply this Cushion foundation on one side with the Wet n Wild Beauty Blender because we are doing a Wet n Wild review. So I figured that that was kind of appropriate. And then I'm going to take my Moda brush on the other side and apply it with a brush so that you can see the difference between the sponge and the brush and see either side. And I'm going to be checking in throughout the day so that you can see the wear on either side. Also, once I put my foundation on and stuff, I will be putting on the rest of my makeup for another video. I am going to be doing a Shop My Stash, and that will be nothing new. So I'm going to be doing a full face of nothing new. So I don't know. I don't think that that one will be up before this one. I think that this is going to go up first and then my Shop My Stash. Stay tuned for the makeup look if you end up liking it. And yeah, so let's go ahead and just hop right in. So I'm going to start off with the number 7 Airbrush Away Radiance Boosting Primer. And this is for sensitive skin. It looks like this. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this on, and what I'm gonna do is actually just put a little bit in this area. And I'm using a stipple brush. This one is a Sigma Dual Fiber, F50 brush. And I'm just gonna go ahead and just put that all over the skin. I try not to touch my face too much when I'm doing my makeup or using my fingers because cross-contamination and I know what's on my hands, but my skin is so sensitive. I break out. Like I have one right there, right there. It's looking super sexy because I'm just so sensitive, and I've been picking because I'm a picker. Are you guys pickers? Let me know in the comments below. I feel I'm more than normal. Usually, like being older now, I would think that I wouldn't break out as much, but I really need to focus on skincare a lot more. I feel like I'll eventually get there. It's just, it's a new routine and it takes a lot longer, and it's, getting old sucks. So, okay, my primer is on. I'm gonna let that soak in just a little bit. So the Cushion foundation I got from Wet n Wild, this one is neutral beige. It's light, medium, cool, and this is 109A. It looks like this. There goes the box. Oh well. When I open it up, it looks like this. I think this is a mirror. It is a mirror. Okay, so there is a mirror in here, but I haven't taken off the plastic, and it comes with a foamy thing that I'll never use, so I'm just gonna toss that. And then you open it up, and it looks like this. So, I mean, the packaging is clean, but it's not my favorite. I have a very love-hate relationship with Cushion foundations. I feel like it holds bacteria in that cushion if you're not careful. So what I'm gonna do, because I'm not gonna do any color correcting, usually I would color correct all of this redness underneath my foundation if you've seen any of my live streams before, but because I really wanna see what this foundation can do and the finish and everything and the coverage, I'm not gonna do any of that, just prime. So I'm gonna take my Moda brush. It's a buffer brush. You can get it at Walmart, and I'm not 100% sure about cruelty-free brush-wise. So if you guys know anything about brushes being cruelty-free, other than being like synthetic or whatever, please let me know in the comments below. So what I'm gonna do is go ahead and just pop my brush in there, get some product. Oh wow, okay. And I'm gonna go ahead and I'm going to buff out just one side of my face and see how this goes. I'm really hoping this color looks good. Oh, is that a, gotta love when your brush sheds. All right. But look at that coverage so far. Holy crap, okay. And I'm not going to use concealer today either. I'm not going to spot conceal. I'm just going to let this wear all day long, and we're going to let it ride. We're going to see what it does. So going down my face on the side. The coverage is nice. I feel like it's super light. I don't feel like I'm overly cakey at all. Coverage isn't bad. It's kind of light, which is not terrible, especially for summertime. Oh, this is buildable too. Okay, not bad. Especially with my my lovely breakout on this side. It's really not bad at all. It's covering, it's you can layer it. It's layering nice. So with a brush, not bad. As you can see, and the color is perfect. Being as hard as it is to figure out what your match is when you're at the drugstore, because there's not testers or anything like that, I would have assumed that I would have either gotten too dark or too light, but this one actually is not bad. Okay, so I'm not gonna do anything else on this side. I'm gonna go in with the Wet n Wild sponge with the Wet n Wild foundation, and I'm just gonna pop it in there. This is a damp beauty blender, it's a damp sponge. It's huge. When it's dry, it's like super tiny. It's so funny, it just expands like crazy. But this is a really, really good sponge if you want to get underneath that eye area. So I'm gonna go ahead, should I go in with the butt? You know, I'm gonna go in with the butt of it, and then I'm just gonna do the cheek area and then turn it over and do the smaller areas. So we're gonna go here. I rarely put on my foundation with a sponge, and it's because I feel like it puts it on so sheer and there's no coverage, hardly any coverage, so you're constantly going through and having to layer your foundation, and that's just using more than what you would have had to use if you did it with a brush. But this is looking really, really good. Okay, I have some redness here, but even that. All right, so I'm gonna go into the smaller areas with the tip of this sponge and see how it goes. There we go. I feel like I really don't need under eye conceal. Usually I'm like all about under eye concealer. I need to brighten underneath there, but it's not bad. Again, I'm not gonna set any of this either. I am just gonna let it ride. So I'm gonna go ahead and just go in with this brush really quick. I actually think I like the sponge side better. Oh, wow, okay. You might have just converted me, Wet n Wild. And I know this foundation has been out for a while, but it's brand new to me. So I wanted to do a review. And nice and clean. I like that part of it, but I wonder how it would do if it was like in a pump or a squeezy tube or something, but that's neither here nor there. So, okay. I look like I'm good and prepped to do the rest of my makeup. I'm not going to add any concealer. I'm not going to do any setting powder. We're not touching it. We're going to go ahead and do bronzer and contour and the whole thing with the Shop My Stash video. So I'm going to go ahead and start that one, and I will be back to check in after I have the rest of my makeup on, and we'll kind of see how it's sitting on both sides. Alrighty, I will check back with you in just a few minutes. Bye guys. Okay, so my makeup is finally done, and the wear is still really, really good on this foundation so far. I haven't had any breaking up while I was putting it on. Hasn't settled in any of my fine lines because I have a few right here, and it hasn't really like settled in there or sunk in there. Even underneath the eyes isn't that bad. And I didn't have a whole lot of dropout with the makeup look, so I didn't have to go in and kind of dab it out. But yeah, it's looking good. I'm really happy with it so far. My only concern is my nose, but again, using a pore filling primer would help with some of the pores that you can see, and of course, using a little bit of touch up over your breakouts. So honestly, because we're just letting it kind of ride and do its thing, it's not bad. I kind of give it a little bit more leeway because I didn't use any thing underneath my eyes. So far, so good. I'm gonna do one more video today and I will check back in with you probably, what time is it now? Okay, so it's 2:30 now. I'll probably check back in with you in another couple of hours. I'm gonna have some food. I will let you know what is going on with this makeup, but so far so good. I'm loving the foundation. I'll talk to you soon. Bye. So this is my second check-in. We're gonna do one more after this evening, but so far so good. Everything is looking really nice still. I feel like it hasn't broken up. Obviously, I've been touching my face, which is terrible, and you really shouldn't be like touching your face a lot, but even then, it still looks really good. It's very luminous. I am oily in my T-zone and across my nose, and it still seems to be holding up pretty well. I am quite impressed with this foundation so far, and honestly, like, I wasn't expecting miracles because it's like a $7 foundation, but it's freaking amazing. Like, the finish on it is great. It has some lasting power, and even with the makeup on top, I have no concealer on, I have no setting powder on or anything, just the primer underneath, and this side is with the sponge, which looks perfect, and this side was with the brush, and again, it still looks the same. Coverage wise, I'm speechless that it layered so nicely. I'm not a huge fan of the packaging, but still, I mean, I'm gonna make it work because it's pretty good so far. I haven't seen I don't have anything bad to say about it because I don't feel like I have makeup on it. I don't feel like I have a mask on either. I don't feel like it's super thick, and I'm just, ugh. I hate that kind of foundation. I used to love it when I was younger, but man alive, I just like a really nice thin layer that you can still see a little bit of my skin through, and this gives me that. I'm impressed. So I will check back in with you in probably like another couple hours, and it will be dark here soon. So yeah, I'm gonna check back in with you and let you know, and I will talk to you really soon. All right, bye. Hi everyone, welcome back. This is my final check-in for my cushion foundation from Wet n Wild, and it is like 8 o'clock in the evening. I've got some friends in the other room, my roommate, and we're all waiting for the pizza to show up. I did want to check in just one more time before I take my makeup off, but look at just, oh my god. I mean, there is a little breakup. I was doing hair. I did some haircuts, so I do have a little bit of a breakup around my nose, which isn't a huge deal for me just because I know that I'm oily, and if I use the right primer on my nose, pore filling primer and maybe a mattifying primer, it would work just fine. And I don't feel like it's broken up too much anywhere else. You know, it's still covering my breakout, and this one, obviously, because I've been drinking coffee and things like that, that it's been rubbed off. But I mean, it's still not settling in my lines here. Freaking, my friend's hair is all over me. It's still not settling in my frown lines or anything like that. I actually really love this foundation, and for like $7, it's really worth it. I'm really truly surprised. I really love it. I'm happy with the purchase. I will definitely be using this more often and putting it into the rotation on a regular basis because the color match is phenomenal. The wear of it is great. My skin can still breathe, which is a huge part of me feeling comfortable in foundation, because a lot of the time I feel like I'm wearing a mask and it's too thick or it's cakey or whatever, but I don't feel like that with this foundation. I don't know if it's because it's in a cushion or if it's because of the actual formulation, but I love it. I mean, the sponge side and the brush side look identical. I can't tell a difference between either one of them, and when that's the case and you can't tell if you used a sponge or a brush, quite honestly, that's a sign of a great foundation. So I'm super happy with it. I hope that you find this helpful in your shopping journey. I don't know if I told you guys that I'm combination skin. I mean, obviously I told you I have an oily T-zone, but everything else seems to be pretty normal, and it wore really, really nice on me. So I'm kind of, I'm super impressed and just kind of like in shock, to be honest with you. So I hope that this is helpful. I love you guys so much. Have a wonderful evening, and I will see you in the next video. The next foundation we're going to be trying out is the Light Illusion foundation from Flower Beauty. That one will probably be up next week. So yeah, I love you. Have a wonderful afternoon, evening. wherever you are. And I'll talk to you soon. Bye.